The first actors' strike since 1980 has just been formally approved. Contract talks between studios, streaming services, and SAG-AFTRA, which is the union representing film and TV actors, broke down late last night. So that means actors like Meryl Streep and Jennifer Lawrence are expected to join the writers who are already on the picket line. So for more on what this all means, not only big picture, but for all of us in our living rooms, let's bring in Brian Steinberg, senior TV editor at Variety. Brian, thank you so much for your time. So we just got the notification that this was, in fact, just approved. In simple terms, what does it mean? What happens now that there is this actor strike?
What it will do essentially is shut down any production currently in process. Writers have already went on strike earlier this year. Now actors are set to join them. So with the writers on strike, nothing can be written. Anything that was already written and scripted could be produced. Now even those shows and movies will be stopped because the actors are going on strike and won't take part in any production.
So we knew that there was the threat of this happening, particularly, as you said, with the fact that this writer's strike is also happening, has been happening at this point for months. When it comes to actors, though, both sides are accusing the other of not budging, which is what we many times see in union negotiations. But what is it going to take to find some consensus, especially because now there is this unity because there's this ongoing writer's strike?
Well, I think what's happening is talent is very worried about the future. The way people watch TV and movies has changed forever thanks to streaming, and these new models don't provide the same kinds of aftermarket income that you might get. Residuals or multiple episodes, fees have all been narrowed because streaming doesn't work the same way TV does. And writers and actors are very nervous about their place in the world and their ability to generate the same or better income as time moves forward. The studios do make billions of dollars, but they too are under strain. They are under Wall Street scrutiny as they kind of build out new streaming operations, and their TV networks are not being watched as they once were, and it's hard to get advertising dollars that way. So both sides are under tremendous duress as the future starts to come into the present.
Yeah, and Brian, another thing we saw on that graphic there, artificial intelligence, it's something that, the writers we know are concerned about, and when it comes to how things are created. But it's also something that actors are concerned about because they're worried about their image or some type of artificial intelligence kind of replacing them.
That's correct. People are very nervous about how a machine might replace a human being in terms of acting. Could you dig up an archival image of somebody, or could a machine write a scene by collecting different words from previous things that are out there? People are very nervous about the future. They're placing it. Will machines and technology usurp the place of the human being in how we create movies and TV shows? And it seems to be a viable concern that both sides are aware of, but haven't come to terms on quite yet.
All right, so we know that our shows, some of our favorite shows, could be impacted. These cliffhangers could be cliffhangers for quite a long time. And this is the first time since 1960 that there has been a joint actors strike with the writers, a joint strike between actors and writers. How long could this realistically last?
I think both sides are seem to be at an impasse right now, are not close to coming to terms. But then again, the longer it goes on, the less money both sides are going to be making and drawing in. That could create some new pressures to find a more common ground. It's not happening right now, but it could happen down the road as money starts to become harder to get.
My last quick question for you, Brian, is there any type of workaround here? Because obviously we have some people who don't want to be accused of crossing the picket lines, but everybody doesn't feel so strongly.
Well, I think what you might see are a couple of things. Reality shows and game shows might not fall under these new rules. You could see some deployment of that kind of thing. Talk shows, that sort of thing, don't require a comedic writing. And you also might see some of the studios kind of import foreign programming that may be seen in Canada or India or somewhere else and bring it to other countries. So perhaps if there are shows already made from Canada that could be licensed and brought down to the United States, that happened in the past writer's strike. You might see more of that as new content becomes very thin.
All right, we will certainly see what happens. Brian Steinberg, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.